The one good thing we can say about the Narendra Modi government's announcement to hold a caste census is that finally, after a 5-year delay, the 2021 decennial census will be held. Please note that not once since the first one in 1881 has the decennial census been delayed or cancelled, not even in 1941 when World War II was on. The questions in the census were reduced, but a census was held nevertheless. Beyond that, however, this caste census is a troublesome, electorally loaded move at this chosen time. The announcement comes in the build up to the Bihar elections. The census may conclude just ahead of the Uttar Pradesh elections, and the caste numbers, because it will take time compiling them, the caste numbers most likely would become the issue that defines the 2029 national campaign. Therein lies the problem. This also underlines why we think that the caste census is another one of our usual nobody can stop a bad idea whose time has come moments. Apologies, Victor Hugo. Why do we call it a bad idea though? Most editorials have welcomed it. The print which I edit has welcomed it too, if only because this brings the census and data. Please see our 50-word edit on your screens. The ruling party, having demonized it as divisive, destructive, and dangerous, echoing somewhat less colorfully Prime Minister Modi, who called it an urban Naxal idea, has now made what fighter pilots would call a 9G turn to hail it as a masterstroke. The opposition, mainly the Congress, welcomes it too, obviously, except to say that Modi stole their idea and the timing is suspect. But even if they say Modi stole their idea, what's the problem then? Having butchered that immortal Victor Hugo line, let me take liberties with another beaten cliche. The devil is in the data or what you do with it. The UPA collected data on the caste of Indian population with the 2011 census but did nothing with it. It did not even release it in public. The BJP has had this data with them for 11 years and maintained the omerta. It set up the Justice Rohini Commission to figure out what to do with the data and benefits for OBCs. Its findings were buried like a grave national secret. With a fresh census now, this for Justice G. Rohini is a labor of love lost. The fact is, for 14 years since the 2011 census, the caste data is seen as radioactive, fissile material. The new census won't produce a more benign isotope. This, however, isn't the reason why we call it a bad idea whose time has come. We take the argument forward with our 3 laws of bad ideas. First, somebody will follow up the bad idea with a cascade of worse ideas. Next, everybody will conspire to worsen it further. And third, the first guy who brought it in will feel remorse but will have no courage or political capital to reverse it. I can give you a dozen examples in 3 minutes, but I know you haven't got that time. Let's only think of one, which is Indira Gandhi's bank nationalization of 1969. And everything we said in these 3 laws of bad ideas has come true there. The reason we call the caste census a bad idea is because nobody has figured out what to do with the data except Rahul Gandhi. And his idea is a straight lift from late Ram Manohar Lohia, jiski jitni abadi, uska utna hak. Thou shall get a share in the national pie determined by your share in the population. You can be sure Rahul will now merrily snatch the baton from Modi and run for amending the constitution to raise the 50% ceiling on reservations. Be sure this will happen. Next, what will you do with the increased reservations when the government has no jobs to give? Today's headline is 1.5 crore applying for 36,000 railway jobs. And the tragedy plays out every day in every state. A few government jobs, for each job, maybe 10,000 applicants, if not more. The problem for young Indians isn't that there are too few reservations. It is that there are so few government jobs to which reservations apply. Don't wait for me, therefore, to guess the next worst idea in the spiral. Enough people have floated it in the old Lohiite socialist system and also the UPA. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress have said it. Read the AICC resolution, although it talks specifically about private educational institutions. But now, again, if you see what's happened at the Congress party's higher level meeting, it's evident that they want reservations in the private sector. This will happen sooner than you think. Demand for reservations in the private sector is now fully on the agenda. This is not the socio-economic politics Modi had been voted for. That's why the only open, vocal, and often furious criticism of the caste census has come from the BJP's most committed supporters, that is, from the general category, Hindus from the general category. But it won't matter. Their anger won't matter. They will be like the all-sacrificing wife from the movies of 5 decades ago. Remember, मैं तुलसी तेरे आंगन की और मेरा पति सिर्फ मेरा है, stuff like that. They will keep kissing their ideological Mangal Sutra and voting for Modi. At least he's keeping the Muslims in their place. And for heaven's sake, who will we vote for? For that Pappu or some Lallu? Huh? That will be the view. Modi knows, therefore, that he's got the general caste base covered. The funny fact is, to guess what Modi will do next, all you need to do is read that Pappu's lips. Rahul Gandhi has lost most of the elections he has led his party in, failed to revitalize or rebuild the party, and yet he's the one setting the socio-economic agenda for the all-conquering Narendra Modi. Modi has been a curious case of learning from the loser. I will give you a quick list of 10 ideas. 10 ideas Rahul proposed and Modi adopted. In all honesty, I would say these 10 ideas of Rahul Gandhi's, most aren't even good ideas. We begin with caste census. Then the Nyay, which morphed into PM Kisan, free food grain in perpetuity for 80 crore people. Then Rahul Gandhi's internship promise of Pehli Naukri Pakki, first job assured, and Modi brought it in the 2024 budget. In the first Modi government, Soot-Boot ki Sarkar Jai persuaded Modi to bury the land acquisition bill. Further on, the Ambani-Adani ki Sarkar campaign led to increased taxation on the rich, including dividends and capital gains, which are now at European levels. If you add it all up, this was to counter the Ambani-Adani Sarkar rhetoric. In the second Modi government, the farm laws met a similar fate. The free bus rides offered by the Congress in Karnataka, although it's copyrighted by Kejriwal, has now become a standard offer with the Modi BJP product, as with giveaways for women after Congress in Karnataka. Rahul taunted Modi on the PSUs. Modi government has discarded the idea of privatization and takes great pride in its PSUs. This year's budget allocated rupees 5 trillion, 5 lakh crore for further investment in the PSUs. I would go so far as to say that if Modi has taken nearly a decade picking up the thread on the first order for 36 Rafales, thank or blame Rahul for it. Because in spite of Rahul Gandhi's Rafale campaign, Modi had won a famous majority in 2019. Nothing stopped him from placing a repeat order except that he was wary of Rahul once again making it an issue. This is therefore a most incredible story of a far-out loser setting the agenda for a strong ruler. The fact is, Rahul has nothing to lose playing the constant disruptor. He can be an opposition leader, he can play the opposition for 10 more years. Even in 2034, he will be a fit 64-year-old, young by the standards of Indian politics. Meanwhile, he is salami slicing Modi's socio-economic politics, dragging him away from Nagpur to Lohia. What's behind this incredible phenomenon? Could it be the fact that Rahul has been playing Main hi Aam Aadmi, only I am the common man, and it unsettles Modi, who sees himself as a common man, who came in from being a chaiwala from humble beginnings? It is counterintuitive, given the privilege Rahul Gandhi comes from. But Rahul's team has made great use of YouTube and Instagram, showing him with car mechanics, zardozi makers, weavers, a cobbler, farmers, truck drivers, a halwai, coolies, tailors, carpenters, potters, paint job workers, construction workers, railway trackmen. Most of them also would be from among the OBCs. And to add the aspirational tadka, he's also spent time on camera with UPSC aspirants in the capital's Mukherjee Nagar. Does it affect Modi? A perpetual loser like Rahul, the Pappu of our politics? Modi's, has been hailed as the conclusive victory of the 1989, post-1989, Kamandal over Mandal. That is Hindutva over caste. And now he's forced to embrace Mandal or embrace caste. Who's resetting whose politics? Who's winning this ideological battle? 30 years ago, when I walked into the corporate headquarters of the Indian Express in Mumbai as the paper's editor, I was ushered into the room of the venerable ad wizard Alec Padamsee. See, this is his memoir on my bookshelf. He had just been engaged as a brand consultant by the Express Group. The showman gestured me to sit quietly while he heaved back and forth on his rowing machine and dictated a strategy note to his starry eyed young assistant. I'm quoting from him now. I never reposition my brand, he dictated. I always force my rival to reposition his brand. The conversation just flashed in my head while writing this column.